first things first, though, and this will continue as part of the podcast. It's time to the latest golf news then. So first of all, we'll start at the top level then, if you like. England boys then, they played in the annual Jacques Lezy Trophy at Blair Gallery, played against GB in Ireland against the European boys. And it was the Continentals who won for the fourth year in a row, score 13.5, 11.5. So very, very close match there. And looking at the players who are in that GB in Ireland team, some very, very familiar names, the likes of Josh Hill, Oliver Mukherjee, Harley Smith, Josh Berry, Dylan Shaw, Radford, Niall Shields, Donegan, Conor Graham, Tyler Weaver, and Frank Kennedy, who we might mention a little bit later on. You never know. And the reverse fixture, or the girls' fixture, which was played for the Junior Vagliani Trophy, once again, Europeans won that one. They won 10-8. They would. I think they won every single time. So they've got a pretty good record against the GB in Ireland. And once again, some cracking players in that GB in Ireland team there. Grace Crawford, Maggie Whitehead, Rose B. Kim, Marina Joyce Moreno, Isla McDonald O'Brien, and Amelia Wan. So really strong side there, and sounds like another cracking match. So two really good matches there between.
I'll tell you, don't you think, Steve, in this country, in England, we've got a real talented pool. Like the next crop coming through, you just wheeled off there Rosie B. Kim, Amelia Wang, Maggie Whitehead. We haven't even mentioned Lottie Woad and players like that. Like the future is so exciting, isn't it? Like over the next 5 years, I'm so excited to see golf in this country just elevate to that next level, because I really think we've got the players. We've got a wave coming through, a crop of players, both for boys and girls coming through, who've got a real opportunity to go and almost dominate on the global stage. And
absolutely. And also, by playing against these top Europeans as well, that can only enhance them as well and give them more experience of playing. Okay, both of those two matches were both played in this country, but presumably they play over in Europe at the opposite fixture every other year, I suppose. So, great opportunity for them to test themselves in top quality events. Right, staying with the Eton Talbot. This was won by Andrew Heswell. He returned to form, scores a 68 and 65. I think the 65 actually was a course record actually as well. So well done to him for breaking the course record. Northern Junior Golf Tour, we've had them on the podcast previously, friends of the Progress Junior Golf podcast. They've had their grand final today, played at Ramside Hall. In fact, two grand finals, one for the players playing 18 holes and a rookie tour grand final as well. Cool. Lots of different age categories, so I can't really go through all the winners there, but the main ones I saw, actually both from under 12 players. This in the main category, best gross score from Millie Hickson. Bear in mind she's in the under 12s, and the 2 over par 76. So there's some talent coming through there. You mentioned some of the players at the top level of the amateur game. That's one to watch out for. Best net score was Shanghai Juan with a 5 under par net 67. Now, Rookies Tour, though, I'll tell you the second best net score. That came from George Ovenden, 12 under par. The best net score was 17 under par for 9 holes. His gross score was 1 under par, 35, and that was Leo Taylor. So well done
Leo. Yeah, for great stuff, Leo.
Absolutely. Now, I actually saw Leo play early this week because he was playing in the Fowler Series, because the Fowler Series had a new event which took place at Mottram Hall. They've started a new event, an under 12s competition, includes qualifying spots to go and play the World Championships over in San Diego. Now, I think we've got some photos from the event there, because it was a really there are the winners there, and some cracking scores as well to go with them. There was different age categories. There was under 7s, there was under 9s, obviously under 12s. That's the winner of the under 12s. Actually, that's the overall winner. A lad called Ellis Courtnell. So it was a par 75 golf course. And he made it the 7 par 5s on that golf course. And to say about making the most of the par 5s, he birdied 5 of them.
Wow.
Including the 17th and the 18th hole to win it there.
That's some trophy as well. It's almost as big as in that.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story, because I was a bit cruel to him because it was quite heavy as well. So I said, "God, put it on your head." And you should have seen his face when he was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to have to put this. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it." You see. And his sister, I presume it was his sister, came over to him afterwards and said, we think you're one of those people over in Africa who can carry the water on the top of your head. You'll be quite useful out there, you see. So
we've got another picture too. There we go. Look at that. How nice is that?
Well, I tell you what about that. The thing about that photo was the fact that it only tells you half the story, because she was actually skipping down the fairway, and I think that when I came off the golf course, and I said to the guys from the Fowler Series, I've got a photo which I've never seen on one of your events before, a player skipping down the fairway before holding hands with the caddy kind of thing. So that was a girl come all the way down from Scotland to play in the event as well. So, and she won one of the prizes as well. So well done to her. It was a fantastic event, and I think everyone really enjoyed it. So the hope is obviously that's the first year that they've done it. They'll try and carry on and bring in possibly more events and make it bigger for next year. Hats off as well to some of the local tours as well, the Tommy Fleetwood Academy, the Northern Junior Golf Tour, who promoted that as well and tried to get some of their players playing the event as well. And I think that's important. It's something which we've stressed quite often on the podcast, isn't it? The fact that if you work together, don't just go along the lines of this is our tour, this is our junior event.
Yeah.
If you work together, you get more players playing in the field, you get more opportunity for more players to play in different competitions, and it can only grow the game.
Well, we did touch on that last week, didn't we, in last week's podcast?
Absolutely, you see. Yeah. So and hats off to those guys there who let their players. And also I took some photos of those people there, and they're wearing their caps, they're wearing their the Northern Junior Golf Tour, or the champion of champions, Michael Gallagher, who's been on the podcast previously, I'm going to send in the photo there saying, wearing your kit at some of these other events, you see. So it helps promote all of them, doesn't it, you see. So that was on the Monday. That was just a one-day event. That was on the Tuesday, Wednesday, or actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, another Fowler Series event. This is the last one of the ones which is taking place in this country. Grand final coming up later in the year. This took place in Wales at Rutland Golf Club. I'll give you the two boys winners. Doug Christopher won the under-21s. Daniel Price won the under-16s. But if I told you that the girls absolutely dominated this event, I mean, I'm saying, look, you've been to plenty of these events I
was at Rutland last year, so I know the track very well.
Absolutely, yeah. So also the grand final, the two grand finals that were held last year, won by two girls.
Yeah.
Well, the top four players in this event were all girls as well. The under 16s was won by Ava Bates, and she just missed out on the top prize by one shot to Anna Dawson. And Anna Dawson shot a 64 in the second round, and that only tells half the story, because a 64 is 8 under par.
Wow.
She went out in 3 under par, 5 consecutive birdies in the middle of her back nine, par the last 3 holes, and that is a course record.
There she is. There is Anna. Congratulations to her. That is sensational. Another name to remember as well.
Certainly one to watch out for. Yeah, and I mean, obviously you were there last year. They've actually changed the course around. They've switched a few of the holes around. So although we went into the pro shop and said, "Is this a new course record?" and they said, "Well, it definitely is, because obviously it's a different course." But I reckon that was probably beat the old course record anyway, because they haven't actually changed any of the holes. They've just moved them around into. So, for example, the 18th now is a par 3 hole, whereas you remember it from last year.
Yeah,
it was I think it was a long par 4. So well done to her anyway. Moving up to Scotland then, that was obviously Wales. In Scotland, Junior Tour of Scotland had an event at Brora. Boys winner there with scores of 67, 69 and 71 was Lewis Seath from Muckhart Golf Club. The girls winner, and this is interesting because they were level actually going to the final round with another player. Anna McKay won, scores of 8. This is talking about peaking. This is 80, 74, final round of 69. Last 8 holes, 6 gross birdies.
Oh, well done.
That is the way to win a competition. In the end, level going into the final day, won by 10 shots.
Wow. So, good change.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Final story then. And this is one which is not really anything to do with results of competitions, but this is a 5-year-old. This is a 5-year-old golfer called George Hughes, and he became the youngest ever recipient of the England Golf Heroes Handshake Trophy. And the reason why is because he's helping raise, there he is picking up his trophy, helping raise £100,000 he's aiming to raise for Freeman Heart and Lung Transplant Association in memory of his dad, who died after an unsuccessful transplant a couple of years ago. He's already raised He's already raised £23,000. They had a golf day the Dave Hughes Memorial Golf Day at his home club, Wigan Golf Club. So really well done to him.
Oh, fantastic stuff. What a young man. What an inspiration.
Absolutely. And let me tell you as well, that the interesting thing about this is that I was reading the story about it, and he said he took part and they beat the drive competition at the first hole. So I'm just intrigued to find out how big his drive was on that first hole, kind of thing, is that because he probably would beat me and you.
I was going to say, do we know how far he hits it?
Yes, yeah. But I tell you a story. I ran an event a few years ago whereby I had 2 6-year-olds playing in the competition, and it was a pro-am, whereby we had a pro and there was a couple of amateurs, a couple of juniors, and an amateur basically who was a sponsor who paid for the 2 juniors to play alongside the pro. We had a pros prize and we had a junior prize. Well, I had 2 6-year-olds on one hole, little par 3, and we got the pros to pay £5 to beat the 6-year-old. We put the 6-year-old off about 30 yards away from the green and sent the pros off 180 yards. And let me tell you, the 6-year-olds absolutely whooped them.
Yes,
I don't think any of the pros managed to get it inside their shots, but I tell you what, the pros loved it. The fact that they got these 2 young boys kind of thing, and the opportunity to have a good laugh. And we made, I think we had, I don't know how many teams we had now. I think we made 120 quid off the pros that day. So yeah. So hats off to the pros, but also it's a bit of inspiration there for clubs out there of different ideas that you can use in events, and
that's
bring
a really
in
nice
juniors.
idea. I like that.
Simple, isn't it? It's the kids loved it, and the juniors. Let me tell you, that was the 9th hole. If the back 9, if the pro got beaten badly, the kids who were playing alongside them were taking the mickey for the rest of the round, kind of thing. You see. So anyway, great story there.